Hello. Hope you're all okay. It's light enough for me to have my camera on today. So here we are. So I was planning to do a live this afternoon, but I was planning to do it on Scotty Morris, but then he was found. So here we are. So what I've decided to do is basically have an open discussion about Nicola Bulley. All right, so there's going to be two rules. One is be respectful in chat. And the second rule is this is a discussion about the case, not about creators. So what I don't want is to have to answer questions about creators. Not interested in that. So this is about the case. So let's just be very, very clear, right? That this is not a place where you come in and bash creators you don't like or sing the praises of creators you do like. Normally, I'm happy for people to mention other creators in chat as long as it's positive. Right? I don't like creator bashing. I'm not into that. But for today, let's just have a rule that we don't mention other creators in the chat, just to make it sail more smoothly, because it's contentious. It's become way more controversial than I ever thought this case ever would become. But here we are. So here we are. All right. Christina, member for 6 months. Rest in peace, Nicola. Absolutely. Absolutely. So for those who need a quick reminder, the case is still open. And the case is still open because it hasn't gone to Inquest yet. And this is the Lancashire County Council's page on... where's the top of the page? Oh, there isn't a top of the page. You just scroll and scroll and scroll. Sorry if this is making you dizzy. All right, let's find it. So 26th of June. So if you're familiar with the case, you'll know this. 26th of June, 10 a.m. at County Hall in Preston. And the hearing is scheduled for a whole day. So it's a full day. You know, generally inquests are only quite short, like 2 hours. They'll schedule them for 2 hours. But occasionally, oh, you get a long one here. Look at that one. John Creevy. I don't know who John Creevy is, but that's scheduled to last for 3 days. So yeah, Nicola's case is going to be heard by coroner Dr. James Adley, 26th of June, 10 a.m, County Hall, Preston. Inquests are open to the public, so anybody can go. And I will be going. I will be going to the inquest. Okay, so that's that, just for a reminder for everybody. And now, another quick reminder. If you know the case really, really, really well, what's clickbait, Marshmallow? I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with your Marshmallow. No clickbait on this channel, so you get a timeout. 5 minutes. 5-minute timeout. Right, for those, again, who need a quick reminder on the case, let's start at the beginning. So Nicola went missing on the 27th of January after dropping her 2 children off at school. And then she walked from the school, which is here, couple of minutes up Garstang Road. Oops, I've gone too far. Down the river path, along here, and she was seen about 8:50 in this field, which is known as the lower field. And then she was seen at 9:10 in the upper field. Now, we don't know exactly whether she went around the whole field or not, but by 9:20, her phone was at the bench. And then at 9:33, her phone and Willow were found. So that's as much as the background that I'm going to give. We've got pictures of the bench here. And this is where her phone and Willow were found. All right, so this is an open discussion. So I'm gonna. Where's my? Hold on, it's because I'm in draw. I think. A new slide. There we go. Whoa. All right. So over to you. What I want, and I've got the chat. I've got it on slow chat. So I might need to slow it even further. But tell me some theories. And this is truly an open discussion. Tell me some theories. I've got my opinion. And if you've been watching my videos on this case, you'll know my opinion. But this stream isn't about my opinion at all. This is about the theories, all the theories. So let's put the theories down and then let's see what evidence there is to support those theories. But I am gonna expect evidence, or at least a logical explanation for that theory. So let's see if there's any theories already in the chat. I know I've not said hello to people, but hey, we'll go up to the top. Well, we've got some Australians in. 12:30 a.m. in Australia. Thought there was only one theory, according to others. Nicola slipped and fell, or Willow jumping up. Well, if you've been watching my videos, and I know people don't tend to watch my videos, but whatever, you'll know my opinion. But is that your, Frankie, is that your theory? That Nicola slipped and fell? Because I want your theory. I want to know your theory. And I'm going to put it down on my board and we're going to talk about them. So Pincher, whatever your name is. We might finally sort this case out. I think I know what happened. Did you? Right. What do you think happened? What do you think happened? Because this is still an open case. It's not gone to inquest yet. There's another 3 months before it goes to inquest. There's still plenty of time for more wild theories to develop. So let's talk about all the theories. You know, unlike Marshmallow, I got timed out for 5 minutes. This is not a clickbait. This is not a clickbait title. I want to discuss all the theories, but I want the theories that you have. No, I could tell you, I could do yet another stream telling you my theory, but I've talked about what I think happened many times. So tell me your theory. Contrary to popular belief, I don't live in CHORLEY. Can
you tell them my theory?
What's your theory, Kyle?
I think it's aliens.
Oh, Kyle, my son, is still on the aliens theory. What's your evidence, Kyle?
Flying saucers spotted.
Oh, flying saucers were spotted in the area. I think he's taking the piss. Right, okay, so Richard says, pushed in the river by a family member. All right, we'll get that on the board then. Get that on the board, all right. So, theory one. One pushed in river by a family member. All right, so what's the evidence for that? Have we got any evidence for pushed in the river by a family member? So we'll leave that one there because I'm just putting the theories down at the moment. Right, number two, we've got accident, slipped and fell. So the accident theory, which is my personal theory, but it's not about me. Accident, slipped and fell. So I could give you video after video after video of me providing logical explanations as to why I think it's literally that simple that she slipped and fell. But it's not about me. I'm not doing the work today. I'm getting you to do the work. The last few days I've been doing some like really technical videos, like loads of reading. And I just want to sit back and just talk to you guys. I will tell you my theory with 100% evidence all the way through. Go on then. Let's do it. Think someone parachuted from a Chinese spy balloon. All right, we'll leave that one. I'm not putting that one on the board simply because it's not actually a spy balloon. It's a flying saucer. We don't all fall in the river by accident when the police are expecting us to jump in the river on the same day. Okay. That's not evidence though, is it? So fell backwards. So that's slipped and fell. So she could have slipped and fell in forward. She could have slipped and fell in backwards. If she fell in backwards, then that makes absolute sense to me if she fell in backwards. But it's not about me. So I want some evidence. So we've got two theories on the board at the moment. I do hundreds of, I've got hundreds of videos with me on. You've still not given me your opinion, your evidence yet, though. Will be suicide, accidental death. I don't see how they can choose between the two. I could possibly agree with you there. If while we're waiting for people to come up with theories, and I do realise that I'm quite far up the chat now. What I'll do is I'll show you what some of the recent decisions have been in Lancashire. Inquest, Lancashire. Here we go. Oh, wrong one. That one. Okay. Right, inquest conclusions. So it only goes back as far as September. So it goes back, what, 6 months? And this is on the Lancashire County Council's website. So they can give a narrative conclusion, which is an explanation of what the inquest found, and that then is the conclusion. Or they can give a standard kind of manner of death type conclusion. So most of them are you know, a standard manner, like suicide, natural causes. There's some kind of subcategories that they include in the UK, like drug-related death. But you can see a lot here are narrative conclusions, and it tends to be if it's a hospital death or a care home death, then they'll give a narrative conclusion. I don't know why. I'm sure there's a reason why they do it like that. But oh wow. And this is all publicly available information. This is not doxing people's names. This is all publicly available information. Died at her home. I used to live on Crook Street years and years and years and years ago. That would have been my next door neighbour, having developed a fatal degree of ketoacidosis resulting from chronic alcohol access and prolonged fasting of food. Wow. I mean, I'm going back a long time. I'm not saying that was my next door neighbour. Misadventure is when you plan to do something and then it goes wrong. So let's say you plan to do abseiling or a bungee jump, and then the rope snapped. That would be a conclusion of misadventure. There's lots of suicides and drug-related deaths. Industrial disease is another subcategory. Accident. There's lots of suicides. Accident, misadventure, suicide, alcohol, suicide, misadventure, accident, suicide. So when they give a suicide conclusion, it tends to be where there is actual evidence that that person intended to take their own life. So if they left a note, if they'd been talking about suicide, if it was clear that they'd kind of put their affairs in order. But if there's no clear evidence of it, then they won't give that ruling. And it is possible that they would, if they absolutely do not know, if you know, there's no evidence of anything, then they will conclude with an open verdict. My opinion is that this won't be an open verdict, but that's just my opinion, and I could be dreadfully wrong, because I don't know what I don't know. Right? This is still an open case because it's under investigation by the coroner. So I don't know what the coroner knows. I don't know what I don't know. Neither do you. This is why we're talking about theories. Down Under with Love, member for 6 months. Marshmallow needs your foot in his hiney. Does he? Does he? All right. I'll tell you what, we'll go on better than that. We'll go block. Boom. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Marshmallow. Boom. All right, back to these theories then. Okay, I'm back in the room. I'm back in chat. Personally, I don't. Personally, I do not. Personally, I think the manner of death will be accident and the cause of death will be drowning. But who knows? I don't know what I don't know. This is why we're talking about theories. No, I think it will. I think people will continue, after the inquest, people will continue to peddle their theory if they can't accept the coroner's ruling. I'll accept the coroner's ruling, whatever it is, because the coroner knows more than I do. But I will be going to the inquest. I can't broadcast it. The public's allowed in, but cameras are not. As far as I know last time I went to an inquest when I was a witness, I wasn't allowed to have my phone. So, I don't know, rules might have changed. That was 2016. I don't think it's changed. All right, back to theories. Nobody's talked about a possible witness. What witness? Have we got any evidence that there was a witness at the time? So we've got two theories on the board at the moment. Pushed in the river by a family member, or accident, slipped and fell. So we've got lots of people saying that they think it's an accident. Frankie says no one's got any evidence. Well, we've got logical. We've got some facts. We've got some facts, and those facts lead to, in my opinion, logical conclusions. However, this is not about me. The two fishermen theory. Okay, we've got the two fishermen theory. All right, well, let's get that on the board because that is a theory. All right, let's put that on the board. All right. Fisherman theory. Have we got any evidence of the fisherman theory? Now, we do know that there was two people with fishing rods seen the day before, but do we have any evidence that the fishermen were there on the day and the time that Nicola disappeared? Emily gifted someone a membership. Who got the membership? Jeannie Harrington was gifted a membership by Emily. Thank you, Emily, and welcome to Memberships, Jeannie. She was a strong swimmer. Yeah, accident possible. In my opinion, yes, for all the reasons that I've outlined in my previous videos. Many drownings occur in people who are strong swimmers, but this is not about me. I could tell you what I think, and it'd be yet another video telling you what I think. But I want the evidence to come from the people who are listening to this right now. Thinks she took her own life, so suicide. All right, we'll get that on the board. So have you got any evidence? Oops, wrong one. Have you got any evidence that Nicola was suicidal? That's what the coroner's going to ask. It's going to be one of the coroner's theories. So look, the coroner is going to have, was it an accident? Was it suicide? Was it misadventure? Was it a drug-related or alcohol-related death? So toxicology is going to tell him whether she was intoxicated at the time. He's going to ask, is there any evidence of foul play? So that will be where the police witnesses come in. So the coroner's going to weigh all of this up. Now, what we do know, what we absolutely know, is that at the autopsy, there was no clear evidence of foul play, and there's been no clear evidence of suspects or anything like that, or else it wouldn't be going to a coroner's inquest. It would be a criminal investigation. And the inquest would have been opened and closed on the same day. So it's down to the coroner to investigate rather than the police. Now, of course, the police are still going to be investigating because they're collating evidence to present at the inquest. Why would she purposefully jump in? I don't know. So anybody who thinks that she committed suicide, why? What's the evidence that she was suicidal? Is there any evidence that she was suicidal? We sprang forward an hour. We did. I was very confused this morning. At least she fell in or was knocked in by a dog. So we've got that one on the board. Accident, fell in. Mental health. So is that a reason for suicide? All right, so we can pop that in. All right. So insert shape. All right, so suicide. How well can you see this? Not very well. All right. So poor mental health. So we know that she was menopausal. It's not a mental health condition, but I guess if you're struggling with it and you're feeling depressed, then so menopause and alcohol issue. So that was what we've been told relating to her mental health. However, if we follow that one step further, would there be any evidence that would be the reason why she'd just jump in the river? Is there any further evidence to, because that's a big leap. That yes, it's a fact that, well, it's what the police told us based on what the family told them. So that's a fact, but it's a jump, it's a leap from she's menopausal, and that has resulted in her being troubled by an alcohol problem that she'd like previously tackled. And yeah, absolutely. If it turns, the toxicology report turns up that she's got, a large amount of alcohol in her system, then that's going to lead us down the line thinking, well, it's going to lead the coroner down the line thinking, well, was this intentional? But we don't know the results of that. We don't know what we don't know. Christine, thank you for the $9.99. Has it been verified that her boss actually came to see her the night before? If so, work related. Is that why her parents cared for the kids later that Thursday night? I don't know that there's any of that has been verified. No, we don't know. So if anybody's got any evidence that the boss came to see her the night before, and her parents cared for the kids the night before? Could it be that they regularly looked after the kids, which is a perfectly normal thing for grandparents to do? If her boss came to see her the night before, okay, was she on the verge of losing her job? So we'd need to know some evidence for that, wouldn't we? I think she jumped in herself further along the river beyond the weir. Okay. So, but that's part of the suicide, is it? So she walked. What am I doing here? I want a shape. We'll put that on the board though, but we need some evidence for it. I mean, it's logical that she might jump in further down to get past the weir. However, my issue with it is, why did Willow, and if you've been watching my videos, you know exactly what I'm going to say next, why did Willow stay at the spot she did? So, walked further downstream, then jumped. If she was suicidal, would she think, I'm going to take my own life, but not here? I'm going to go further downstream to take my own life. What would the rationale in a suicidal person's mind be for that? And then why would she leave Willow? You see, what I'm going to do next, once I've got some ideas on the board, some sensible ideas on the board, we're going to see if we can counteract them. Because if you have a theory, right, you find evidence to support your theory, but you've also equally got to look at all the evidence that refutes that theory. You got to look at the for and against. So I think that Ron is a possible witness of the suicide. But you said earlier that you knew exactly what happened. Now, I know I'm far up chat, you know, but you might have put it already. So we'll put that on though. Okay, Ron witnessed suicide. I'm pretty sure there's no evidence that Ron witnessed the suicide, or else she wouldn't have been missing, would she? Well, she would have been missing, but they'd have known. They've known where she was. Now, maybe you could say that that's why the police focused on the river. Originally thought she climbed down to get a toy. When you showed the scene, Cassie demonstrated exactly what happened. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna... Oh, the red car. I've got to get the red car on. So possibly the fisherman were in the red car. We don't know if the red car, it's a van, wasn't it? The red van on Hall Lane was belonging to the fisherman, but we'll put it in red van. Because the police were looking for it. That was a fact. So the fisherman was a fact. There were 2 fishermen caught on the CCTV at the garage, just a little bit further down Garstang Road than the opening to the river path. And we know that the red van was a thing, a real thing. So staged to look like an accident. All right, I'll put that in. So we've got a lot of, most of the ideas at the moment are suicide. At the end of this stream, I'm going to do a poll. Actually, not right at the end, like partway through, when we've got some ideas on the board, and then we're going to start refuting them, or at least trying to. Stage 2 look like suicide. I'm not sure suicidal people really have the frame of mind to stage, because at that point they don't care. But that again, that's just my opinion. And if I get 1,000 likes, as always, or as always when I notice, if I get 1,000 likes, I'll give 20 free memberships away. That's funny. Some sort of accident, no proof of anything else. Think Willow was at the stile trying to find lower ground to get in to help Nicola because she saw her tumble in. It's quite possible that Willow would try to find a place where she could get in. Your theory is foul play. Okay, what kind of foul play? Because we've already got that she was pushed in the river by a family member. So are there other areas? Like, and we've got fishermen as well. So presumably the fisherman theory is that they abducted her. All right, I'm going to jump further down now. I know I've missed a lot, but I'm still like at the point where I blocked Marshmallow. So I know that I'm far down the chat. So I'm right at the bottom of the chat now, and I'll work my way a little bit up. Welfare check. Okay, welfare check. All right. So where does the welfare check fit in? Because I think the welfare check is relevant. So where does that fit in? Because that was the 10th, wasn't it? If I remember rightly. So we'll put welfare check in. Welfare check. That's related to mental health. So we'll put that there. Not really sure where it links other than in relation to mental health. We don't know the nature of that welfare check, do we? I'd like to. I think it is relevant. I'd like to know the nature of that welfare check. But why can't it just be an accident? Well, it's an open investigation. Personally, my personal view is it was. It's as simple as it was just an accident. But a lot of people don't agree. Her slipping and falling in the river, or just, you know, whatever, tripped over the dog, just tripped over her own feet, which I do regularly. People are struggling to accept it. So when I do the poll, let's see what my audience, the people watching this stream right now, think. Because when I've seen polls done like in Twitter, it's the majority of those think it was foul play or some kind of psyop. Now, maybe the people that watch my channel are less likely to think that, or maybe the people who think it was a psyop don't watch my channel. I don't know. So that's why I'm going to do my own poll in a bit. Nicola lived a minute's drive from the coast and cliffs. Don't believe she'd have opted to leave. There's no cliffs. There's no cliffs there. It's very, very, very flat. Very flat. There's no cliffs. The coast is Blackpool, I don't know, I want to say about half an hour drive. But it's all very flat. Like the entirety of West Lancashire and the entirety of the Fylde is very flat. You could go to the pier. You could go to Blackpool Pier and jump off, like some people have done that. But there's no cliffs. Too shallow to fall in by the bench. Hold that thought, because when we get to countering, list reasons for welfare check. We don't know what the reasons were, though. This is the thing. You know, was it that Nicola was saying she was going to end her life? Was it that there was this massive fight? And we don't even know who called. We don't even know who called the police. We don't know whether Nicola called the police herself. We don't know whether Paul called the police. We don't know whether a neighbour or another family member called the police. We don't know anything about the welfare check. I personally don't talk about it on my channel because I don't know enough about it. But I do think it's got some relevance, potentially. The coroner will certainly be looking at it very closely. Very, very closely. But is it relevant if literally she slipped and fell? No, it then isn't relevant. You know, if she slipped and fell, anybody can fall, anybody can just trip and have a freak accident. You know, I fall down my stairs. I've walked up my stairs, down my stairs a million times, and I still fall down them like once or twice a year. And there's no reason why I do it. I just trip over my feet. So if there's no alcohol in her system or drugs in her system, if there's no other signs that she was suicidal, then it's purely an accident. But if there's other evidence alongside that, then maybe the welfare check is very relevant, but we don't know. Caravan family, odd and conflicting testimony. I would add that she may have been pushed in by accident and covered it up in that hour. Okay, let's got that on. So we've got pushed in river by a family member. So we'll put it in that category. Or someone she was having an argument with. Possible. I can't discount it. I honestly can't discount it. So, you know, an argument, there's a push, she falls. I think it's less likely than her just tripping, but again, this is not about me. We want to get these things down on the board. Okay. So the mental health is relevant to a potential confrontation. Okay. Hey up, Murray. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I had a family member that committed suicide, and personally, I don't think that this is a suicide, but I don't know what I don't know. Think the clue is top field where Nicola was last seen. What clue though? Frankie. What's the clue? All right, so the upper field, how is that relevant? Like, what's the clue that relates to Nicola going missing and then being found 23 days later? Do you think that she had a mental break and just went into the water because of the break things? She was going through something at home. Well, that would be mental health. It just doesn't strike me as someone who's do those things and suddenly decide to end it all. Me neither. Me neither. But then again, I don't know what I don't know. Personally, I really don't think it was. But I don't know what I don't know. Nicola was a mortgage advisor. It's a very stressful job in the current climate. People have been okay. All right, we'll put that on. That is relevant actually. All right, so work stress, and that would play into if her boss came to see her the night before. But we've no evidence that her boss did come to see her the night before. Let's be very, very clear. We don't know that her boss came to see her the night before, but lots and lots and lots of people have work stress. I used to have work stress. Okay, had a medical emergency, heart attack, etc. Okay. All right, that's very possible. So accident, slipped and fell. It's kind of like, no, I'm going to do it as a separate one because the coroner would do that separately. All right, so number 5. Medical, and that obviously will be something emergency, not emergency led to you see, the coroner has the autopsy report, and the coroner had the autopsy report on the Wednesday. So she was found on the 19th, which was the Sunday. So the Wednesday would have been the 22nd. The autopsy had already been completed by then. So the coroner would have had the preliminary results from the autopsy. Obviously, he wouldn't have the tox report because that takes 4 to 6 weeks. But he would have had the preliminary results from the autopsy. So if there was evidence of a natural cause death, like a heart attack, then that would be something that that would be his starting point. Look, there's the signs here of myocardial infarction. There's a sign here of, let's say, a stroke or something like that. Those things can be seen on autopsies very easily. I know she'd been in the water for 23 days, which does muddy the waters a little bit in terms of, ascertaining a cause of death. But 23 days is not a massive length of time. The water was fairly cold. We don't have like big water predators like alligators. We don't have anything like that in the UK. So it's not like she will have been completely eaten, and there not being much left. So the autopsy will be useful. In future, the police should put a net on weirs. I don't know how they can, honestly. There's a weir near me that's way bigger than the one at St. Michael's. By bigger, I mean, taller. Hold on, I've got a picture of it. Emily gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Emily. Let's see who got it. I really need new glasses. The glasses are not helping me see here. Carrie. I actually can see better without my glasses. The video, Angelia, Journey takes a trip, Marie, Japezi. All of you guys have been gifted memberships by Emily. Thank you, Emily, and welcome to the 5. And thank you, Elizabeth, for the £5 super sticker. A hippo on wheels. I really need new glasses. When I look far away like that, it's way clearer. But when I'm just sitting on my normal chair like this, my glasses make my eyesight worse. Specsavers keep texting me saying, you need an eye test. You're overdue for your eye test. So I don't care if I'm overdue for my eye test. I really don't care. So whatever. It's only when because I don't normally wear glasses. It's only if I'm like sitting here reading, sometimes I think, oh, I wish I had my glasses on. But no, glasses are just not helping whatsoever. Except for if I sit right back here. That's like proper clear. Yeah, oh yeah, all right. I'll show you a picture of the weir near my house. It's not actually near my house. It's about, how far is it? Do you want to go to the weir? Do you want me to take you to the weir near me? I can do. Hold on, let me find it. Find a picture. It's a taller weir, so it's like taller that way. But the river's much calmer. I fell over that weir. I'll show you in a minute. All right, I've got it. I've got a picture. Okay. It's beautiful there. Do you want to go? Do you want me to take you there? It is beautiful. I don't like going there though. When we were kids, we used to go and play here. Don't tell my mum. But when we were kids, we used to go and play here. We used to go and like jump on these rocks and that. I fell all the way down those rocks one day. I've seen people jump off that. I'm sure back in my day, there wasn't a fence there. You know, before health and safety and that. I'm pretty sure when I was a kid, there wasn't a fence there. I never did this, but I've seen people literally jump down the banks here, jump in the river and jump down the weir. And it's actually not as big as it looks on the picture, but it's bigger than the one at St. Michael's, way bigger than the one at St. Michael's. And it's absolutely possible for a body to pass over this weir. Like I've seen people literally jump down off this weir, like on purpose, like fly over the weir, like push themselves over. And this is a very calm river, very calm river. It's very, like it's the river name, the River Yarrow. It's a tributary of the Ribble. So it comes out at just a bit further south than Blackpool, ultimately. But yeah, I'll take you there. I'll take you there. Right. I don't like going there because I have to keep the dogs on leads. Cassie's never been there because she'd just lose her head because of all the ducks and swans. And the swans are so aggressive. Cassie would end up in a fight with a swan. I can just see it coming. But Tilly would just do nothing but bark. But I don't know. There really isn't any evidence except for a dog and a fawn by a bench. That's the only evidence. Those are the facts. So we do have some facts. And Willow being found at the bench, the fawn and Willow's lead and harness being found at the bench. Those are facts. We know approximately what time the 999 call was made. We know that there were some witnesses. Now, obviously, we've only got their word for what they saw. We've also got the fact that she was classed as a vulnerable person. So, yeah, you're right. We have very few facts. There's been a lengthy investigation. The coroner has opened the inquest on the 22nd of February, and the inquest isn't until the 26th of June to give the relevant authorities the time to do an investigation. So do I. So do I. Derek Clayton, do some work for Paul. Nicola Bulley was concerned about Derek Clayton. Well, Derek Clayton's been missing since last October. So she lives in the same area as Derek Clayton. So yeah, naturally people around there would be concerned about Derek Clayton. So I don't see anything suspicious about her being concerned about Derek Clayton being missing. All right, if you do a poll, can you set it out so we can rank our choices? I don't think so. Let's do the poll now. But I don't think I can do that. Let me just see here. Start a poll. Hold on. What's this? Start a Q&A. There's a Q&A function now. All right, start a poll. All right. What happened to Nicola Bulley? All right, how many options does it give me? Right, I can only do 4 options. I can only do 4 options. So we'll do foul play. Now, foul play is going to we'll do foul play, someone known, and then we'll do foul play stranger, so stranger abduction basically. Stranger. Sorry if it's crackling and got my hand on the mic there. And then we'll do accident. And then we'll do, so accident will include medical emergency. So she had a medical emergency and fell in the river because of that medical emergency. Or she fell in the river because she tripped over Willow, or she fell in the river simply because she tripped over her own feet. So there's a whole range of things that will come in. But because I've only got 4 options, I can't split them up anymore. And then we've got suicide. All right, so those are the 4. So the question is going to be, what happened to Nicola Bulley? And that's obviously in your opinion. In your opinion. Foul play, someone known. Foul play, stranger. Accident includes medical emergency. and fell in, and then suicide. Okay. All right. Ask your community. Why is it not giving me the option to do this? Maybe I've got too many characters. What? Oh, there we go. Too many characters on that one. All right. That's your community. Right. Poll incoming. All right. We'll keep that running. We'll keep that running. We'll keep that running till the end. So now we've got some on the board. Can we think of any reasons why these things didn't happen? So I'll change my font. So it didn't happen because. Most people nowadays are influenced by TV and cop dramas. Yeah, they are. Where's the poll? The poll, can you not see the poll? Why can't you see the poll? People are voting in it, so some people are seeing the poll. It's only letting me see one option. That's weird. I sometimes think the good old-fashioned method is the better one. You know, like put 1 in chat if you think this, and put 2 in chat if you think this. Oh, there we go. I'll pin the poll. Oh, I can't even pin it. Why can I not even pin it? It only gives me option to end. That's very odd. So we've got 143 votes so far. $146 votes. We've only got 210 likes in the chat. So I don't think we're going to be giving any memberships away anytime soon. The poll's at the top of the chat. Oh, it is pinned. Oh, it must automatically pin. All right. You can see that I don't normally do polls. 156 votes now. All right, just keep voting. All right. Poll, click on icon on left-hand side. It's the top of the chat. Yeah, I've got it now. I can see it now. All right, so this is the fishermen. They were spotted the day before and asked to come forward, but never did. Something like that. Okay. Okay. All right. That's a good one. So we'll put reasons why it didn't happen here. Would have tied Willow up. So we'll do that in red. Would have tied Willow up. So that's countering the suicide theory. No foul play, no suspects. All right. So we've not got foul play on here apart from this, but we'll call that the foul play angle or the fisherman angle. So we'll put those two further up. All right. So we'll kind of put them together. I know they're technically not, but the foul play. So we'll just call them foul play now. And then we can do so for the whole of that, we've got no suspects identified by the police.
Right.
Are you going, Kyle? Where are you going?
Football.
Oh, okay. No suspects ID'd by police. So YouTube and Twitter and stuff has got loads of suspects, but we've not had any suspects by the police. They've consistently said there's no signs of any foul play. So that's what the police have said. Does it mean they're right? Well, no. But then again, we don't know what they know. Would not have been on the why bother with work. That's one of my things, yeah. Why bother with work? Absolutely. Why bother with work? Yeah. Right, with it being so close, like literally she was on a call. Literally on a call. Why would you even bother to do that? Not accident. Family didn't say she was accident prone. Okay. You don't have to be to just have a freak accident. The best drivers in the world always say, I would never have an accident. And then they go and crash their car. But we'll put that down. So family say she wasn't accident prone. All right. Can you hear Tilly yawning from downstairs? She's so noisy. Why make a play date for the children? So that's forward thinking, isn't it? So when you're suicidal, you don't think a minute ahead other than, I want this pain to stop. What do you give up on? What do you give up on? I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Why is there no option for satanic sacrifice? Because people didn't give me that as an option. When I've been on here now for 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I've spent the last hour putting these theories on my board, and those are the 5 theories that people have come up with in an hour. So I could only do 4 options on the poll. So that's why in the accident one, I've included medical emergency in the accident one. I've not split it up. So we've got 5 theories on the board, but we've only got 4 options in the poll. All right, what was that last thing? I've forgotten now. Oh yeah, play date. Why set up a play date? Like that's forward thinking. Like in you know, when people work on crisis, like crisis call lines, like the Samaritans, they will use that as an assessment, as a, you know, just a off the cuff assessment as to somebody's mental state. If you can think forward, like what are you doing tomorrow? If you can think forward, you're less of a risk. If you can get someone to think forward, what are you doing tomorrow? It reduces their risk. Only for that moment. Obviously, it doesn't reduce their risk in the future. It's not a therapy. It's a quick assessment. People fall off rocks doing selfies. Yeah, it's one reason why I don't go to the weir near me, because I just fall in. Nicola wasn't in the field at all. So Nicola wasn't there. Oh, well, that didn't come up. I'm surprised it didn't. I'm surprised it didn't come up, but that's not come up. So that's not gone in the poll. So what we're doing now is trying to refute. I mean, I guess we can refute it all. I guess we can refute it all by saying Nicola was never in the field that day. So we can refute it all by putting that one on the board. Okay, a murderer wouldn't do it when she was on her phone, possibly alert person she was talking to. That's, yeah. I mean, it's not a surefire way, but I think it would reduce. Also, having a dog with you reduces the risk of you being attacked, because a dog barks. It's a shame I've never been attacked, like while I've had Tilly with me. It's a shame. It's understandable, but it's a shame. I want to get something like that on camera. All right, so on phone, I put with dog, less likely to be murdered. That would be murdered by a stranger, or abducted and murdered by a stranger. It is a very good point. When you decide to take your own life in the spur of the moment, you don't think about anything other than the pain. So you're not going to be thinking forward to a play date, or logging in at work, or staying on that call, or... That's my opinion. That's my opinion. We're just putting down what people think on this board. That's all we're doing in this live stream. Forward thinking tactic. That's exactly what it is, yeah. Yeah, we've got that one on the board there. Number one. She had an argument. Someone she was having an argument with. My diagrams are very helpful. I'm just putting ideas down, and I'm going to keep this as well. The number one was a printing mistake. A family member. I meant was Willow. Oh, okay. So you think Willow? Pushed in the river by Willow. Well, that would be accident. But pushed in the river by someone, I think, is a valid theory. You know, I personally don't believe she was pushed in, but it's a valid theory. I can't discount it because I wasn't there. Menopause can affect balance. Okay, I didn't know that. I'll believe you. So we'll just put health can affect balance. Because that like counters that. So we've got a counter to the counter. Well, family says she wasn't accident prone, but health can affect balance. It can. I don't know about the menopause, you know. I don't know about the menopause, but there's various health, like I've got Chiari malformation. So I know why my balance is bad. But some people have health issues and they don't realize it's affecting their balance or their, you know, stability. Karen, thank you for the £5. Firmly believe it was foul play. Michelle, until you took Cassie there that day and it was evident foul play would be virtually impossible. Yeah, I can play that footage if you want. Let's take Pinchot theory, Ron. Well, Ron would be foul play someone known. Like i.e. not a complete stranger. And then on the board, then Ron would be, I guess, in here. So we could do with an argument with Ron. Sorry, Ron, I don't personally think you did anything wrong, but these are just theories. Or someone else in the village. All right. Penny probably pushed her. All right, we can put Penny in as well. Sorry, Penny. Again, I don't personally. Can I make that bigger now? Oh, look at that. Ron or Penny. Or someone else in the village. Have we got any evidence? We know they were there in the vicinity, but do we have any evidence that they've done things like that before, or any evidence even that they'd argue with Nicola before? Have we got any evidence whatsoever that could tell us, well, they've got that kind of personality? You know, I could maybe start to think, you know, possibly an argument. You know, I've got into arguments that have got heated. I've got into arguments before that have spilled blood. I've got into arguments before that have resulted in injuries. I'm not going to give you the details. I didn't start it. I just ended it. So you think accident or foul play, you just don't believe she took her own life? No, I can't do that on the poll, though. That's the thing. Can't do another option on the poll. Nicola was said to have bad headaches. She was. Now, that could contribute to, you know, ill health. It could contribute to balance if she was having migraines and things like that. Low blood sugar. Possibly. Had she eaten anything that day? Yeah. I don't know what Pinchot's knew. Pinchot said that they knew exactly what happened, and maybe I missed it. Because the chat, you know, there's a lot of people in chatting, so if I missed it, then I do apologize. Put it again, Pinchot. Changes in female hormones are known to affect your inner ears, which are critical. Really? All right. I didn't know that either. Menopause can cause low blood pressure, leading to fainting. Oh, my word. Well, I have chronic low blood pressure, so I'm not menopausal. But when I am, when eventually I am, oh, well, I'll be going to be fainting all over the place. I've not fainted for ages. I'm doing really well. I'm keeping my blood pressure up. Like the doctor was like, well, we could put you on medication, but I was like, I don't want medication. So what I do is I eat a lot of salt. This is working. I don't like salt. I don't like salty foods, but I do like lentil chips. We have a brand of lentil chips in the UK that are just so salty. And I like them, and I have 2 packets. When I start feeling dizzy, I know that my blood pressure is too low. So I have a packet of these lentil chips with salt, loads of salt on. Sometimes I even have 2 packets, because only 65 calories a pack. But most of the calories in salt, I've no idea. But it's yeah, very, 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 very salty. I personally believe Ron is innocent as well. But these are just theories. These are what people are saying. Yeah, so I haven't fainted since I've been doing this with salt. The worst faint I had, I got up to go to the loo in the night. I don't remember anything other than my son at some point in the future asking me if I was all right and asking me if I needed an ambulance. And what I appear to have done is got to the door of my room, fell backwards, like completely backwards, smacked my head on my desk and knocked myself all the way out. I don't know how long I was out. No idea how long I was out. And I had concussion for 3 weeks. I will do in it. Yeah, I will do. Yeah. No proof Nicola was even at the bench. Well, we've got that on. We've got that on that she wasn't at the field as a counter to it all. Was never in the field or at the bench. But you're going to need to provide some evidence for that. Like, do we have any evidence? We've got evidence. Oh, well, we've got ideas as to, we've got a lot of ideas as to why she might have taken her own life. We've also got some ideas why it doesn't look like she took her own life. We've got some ideas that she just literally slipped and fell. We've got some ideas that maybe her family said, well, she's not accident prone. However, we can counter by saying she's possibly got a health concern. Headaches, menopause, hormonal issues, whatever, that she's not really, taking on board or doesn't really know about. And then the foul play, like either pushed in the river and then they've covered it up, or she was abducted by the fishermen. Well, we've no evidence of that because there's no suspects. The police have investigated. There's no suspects been identified. And you're less likely to be attacked at all if you've got a dog with you and you're on a phone. So these are just ideas. These are just theories. None of us know, really. None of us were there. All we can do is take the few facts we've got and then think about the situation logically. A laced drink. A laced drink. Oh, that's a new one. What do you mean, Julia? Clarify. She did. She absolutely did. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. How did Ellie not identify the fisherman? 3 men can easily overpower a female, especially with there being 3 men. There was actually 2, but you're right that two people can overpower 1 person. But we don't know. We don't know whether we know that the police were working on identifying them. We don't know whether they did, though. I mean, this is the thing. We don't know what we don't know. So we don't know if the police did identify them, and they had an alibi, or they were somewhere else. They were on CCTV at work, maybe somewhere else, and they've just been ruled out for that reason. We don't know. We don't know what we don't know. Oh, you got thunder. I like thunder. Yeah, lots of theories, not much evidence for any of them. No, like I said, we've got a few facts, but then we've also got the the way that we can apply logic, and we can speculate, but not to a point where it goes wild, not to a point where it's counter to what we know. That's what I don't like. I don't like it when people bring up these really wild ideas that can be so easily refuted. That's what drives me insane. There's nothing wrong with theories, nothing wrong with theorizing whatsoever. But it's when you have a fact that happened, and then they will go all out to say that didn't happen, but then they can't give you an explanation or a solid fact in return. We've got that one, Karen. We've got that one. Argument. I don't know. I don't understand that. Why get people to get on touched with loved ones if they actually did it? No, I don't believe it. I don't know what that means. Yeah, you've been on Channel 5. They did like an hour and 15-minute interview with him on Channel 5. Can we just put up all of my theory? What is your theory? Ron? We've got Ron in there. Like, Ron could be a witness to a suicide. Ron could have pushed her in. I personally don't think he did. But you right at the beginning of the stream, you said you knew what happened. So I need to know how you know what happened. We don't know the answer to that. Why was there a welfare check in the police at her home? Was one of them being aggressive? We don't know. We don't know whether Nicola called them because she wasn't feeling well, and maybe she felt that she was at the end of her rope. Maybe she called them, or maybe there was a fight and Nicola called them, or maybe Paul called them, or maybe a neighbor called them. We don't know. We don't know who called the cops or for what reason, other than a welfare check. Do we have the right to know? No, not really. Not really. About 20 posts by Pinchot. Okay. Hold on. You have 100% evidence. All right, where is it then? Right, I'm watching the chat. So, all right. So Ron was a witness. Police knew about witness. So stuck to river theory. So Ron was a witness about Nicola's suicide, and that's why they stuck to the river theory. All right, I'll put it on. Okay, Ron witnessed suicide. Therefore, police stuck to river theory. Could be. Could be. Could well be. Can't discount it. Can't discount it. I'll abide by the coroner's decision, because if Ron turns up at the inquest on the 26th and tells that story, and the police confirm that that's why they're concentrated on the river, and there is a you know, that's used as evidence to support a suicide theory, then I'll abide by that. It's incredibly sad. I'll abide by that. But why didn't Ron immediately ring 999 though? Like, if you saw someone jump, why wouldn't you just immediately ring 999? Like, because you're not at fault. It's not like, you know, you could understand if you had an argument with somebody and you push them in and you thought, oh no, you know, and they crack their head on the rocks and they're not moving, and you think, oh no, and you panic. I can kind of understand that. I mean, obviously it's the wrong thing to do, because if you get that person help straight away, maybe they can be survived. You're going to be in a little bit of trouble, but you're not going to be in a massive amount of trouble. You're in more trouble if you cover it up and then you get found out. But I can go with that. But witnessing someone jumping, well, aren't you just going to call 999 straight away? You know. So the question will be, and I'm sure if that happened and Ron turns up later on and says, oh yeah, I did see her jump in, and the cops will be like, well, why didn't you ring us then? Because now she's disappeared. She's nowhere to be seen. So she's, you know, why didn't you ring us? So why didn't Ron ring 999? Then he phoned Penny to get string. But yeah, but why didn't he ring 999? Like, if he witnessed her jumping, why did he need to cover that up? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, he rang Penny to get string because, oh, I've just watched someone jump in and take their own life. Now the dog's running loose. I'm not really sure I can go with that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm certainly not going to go to St. Michael's and start trying to interview people. I think they need to be left alone. I mean, I am going to go back to St. Michael's, but not to be seen by anyone. And there's some things I want to check out, but not to be seen by anyone. I'm going to go at a really quiet time. I'm not going to speak to anyone. I'm not going there to be a journalist, a sleuth. I'm going there because I want to check some stuff out. But I'm not going to tell you when I'm going. I'm just going to go and come back with my findings. But if there's people there, I'll just leave and go back another time. Okay, then the alibi that Ron came up with was there at 9:33, not 9:15. No, he said he saw her about 9:10. But again, if you saw her jump, why didn't you just call the cops? There's nothing wrong with seeing someone jumping. It's not your fault. It's very sad, but it's not your fault. Yeah. Yeah, they do. They always check mine twice. My dogs didn't care because it was in the night, so they were asleep. I didn't have Cassie then. It was before I got Cassie. I'm reading your posts, but I'm not really understanding them though. Wrong description of last clothes Nicola was wearing by Paul. I've been asking myself why. Because in the early stages of an investigation, it's pretty regular, quite honestly. Like if you cover a lot of these cases, if you know a lot of these cases, it's pretty regular that in the first few days, the description's a bit off and they rectify them within the first few days. So them saying that she had an ankle length gilet on, which wasn't true, it was knee length, you know, it was quickly rectified, and people just haven't forgotten that they said that it was ankle length at first. And maybe she does have an ankle length gilet, but she wasn't wearing that on the day. And maybe Paul said, "Oh, I think it was ankle length," and then when he checked his CCTV, it turns out that it was the knee length one. I don't know, but it's regular, very regular that these things happen. Like Summer Wells, for example. You know, the first reports of Summer Wells going missing was saying that she was wearing shorts rather than pants, saying that she was 4 and not 5. It's just one of them things that the you know, the cops and the media, they're trying to get as much information as they can from people who are stressing out, and sometimes things get reported wrongly. Why was Nicola allowed to sort out a friend's mortgage? There's no laws against it. No laws against sorting a friend's mortgage out. Why would there be? It's not like you can do anything dodgy, like getting your friend a mortgage deal. No, we'll find out at the inquest. We just know that there's no obvious signs of foul play, or else it wouldn't be going to an inquest. It would be a criminal investigation. Yeah. Yeah. What's your evidence, Pincho? Like, have you got what evidence? Right, I'm not going to say what's your evidence. I'm going to say, can you provide me with that evidence? Like, can you provide me with a photograph, a video, witness statements? Can you provide me with something that will convince me that it's not just your opinion? The autopsy is going to tell us some things, yeah. It'll tell us whether there was alcohol or drugs in the system. It'll tell us whether there was a sign of certain medical emergencies, like a myocardial infarction, like a heart attack or a stroke. You're going to see that. Brain will bleed, you're going to see that. Things that you're not going to see, having been in the water for 23 days, is things like blood pressure. You're not going to be able to see the blood sugar level. You're not going to be able to see whether she had a seizure. Those kind of things we'll never know. We'll never know. It'll only be the obvious ones that leave a mark on the body, like a stroke, brain bleed, heart attack, those kind of things. You know, falling over and breaking her neck, or falling over and breaking her leg, and you know, those things as well. They'll be able to see. Went on for months. I was lucky not to be injured, my brother. Oh dear. Mine's always low. Like I can get it up to normal levels. But if I don't keep an eye on my salt, it'll just go down. So I can keep it at a normal level myself. So the lady in the campsite, slow chat. I don't know what that means. How long in the UK for a pretty straight accident to investigate? Seems like a long time. 4 months isn't a long time. 4 months isn't a long time. Under the, I'll show you. All right, let me save this. Let me save this. I'm going to play you the footage from my walk in a minute. But let me show this first. All right. Hold on, wrong one. There we go, that one. All right, this is legislation.gov.uk, the coroner's inquest rules. This is the latest. It says 2013, but it's not been updated for the last 10 years. And it says that coroners have got 6 months in which to complete an investigation. So these are the rules that coroners have to abide by. So coroner must complete an inquest within 6 months of the date on which the coroner is made aware of the death, or as soon as is reasonably practicable after that date. So 4 months is not a long time. So they were made aware of the death on the 19th, and then the inquest was scheduled for the 26th of June. You've got to remember that this is going to be a whole day. So they've got to have had a time when the the coroner and everybody else around that court can do it, can fit it in the diary. The inquest I went to in 2016 was in April, and the death had occurred in October, at the beginning of October. And it was 6 months, nearly 6 months. And it was because of scheduling. That's all. This was a fairly straightforward suicide. There was a note. He'd left his bank card and his PIN number and a note, and the details of his pension plan. I went straight to the bank and drew his money out with his PIN number. So 4 months is not a long time. Yeah, that's why I don't think it happened. But I mean, Pinto. Ron told police as a witness, but wanted to be anonymous. Well, how come he went on Sky News then? How come he went on Sky News if he wanted to be anonymous? We all know his name because he went on Sky News. I mean, look, Pinto, I'm not having a go at you. You could well be right. If you turn out to be right and that evidence is with the cops, then fair enough. Then fair enough. I just don't see why you wouldn't have called the cops. There isn't a delay on the autopsy. There's no delay. The autopsy was done on the Monday. So she was found on the Sunday, the 19th. The autopsy was done on the Monday. The coroner had the preliminary results by the Wednesday, or else he wouldn't have opened the inquest. Now, toxicology takes 4 to 6 weeks, and that's just standard. That's down to labs being busy, scheduling, whatever. Toxicology always takes 4 to 6 weeks in Lancashire. So the tox wouldn't have come back on the day that he opened the inquest, but the preliminary results of the autopsy were there because They have those. So there was no delay. It was done very quickly. No delay. Very quickly. By a Home Office forensic pathologist, which is standard practice in these cases. My son, when my son was killed, his autopsy was done within 24 hours by a Home Office forensic pathologist. In my son's case, tox took, hold on, I don't have the date. I would say probably about a month, maybe. I don't have the exact date. I just know it was sometime in September, and he was killed on the 10th of August. I think it was like towards the beginning of September, beginning to mid-September. I don't know the exact date. Water in the lungs. Water in the lungs is not a good indicator of drowning, just so you know. All right, let's oops. I'm trapped on my chair. Because Cassie's been eating my chair. It's got loads of like rough bits on the back. You've been eating my chair, Cassie, again. I'm stuck to my chair, literally stuck to my chair. Yes, I'm stuck to my chair, aren't I? Yes, I am. What's up? Do you need a wee? Do you need a wee? Please hold. Cassie needs a wee. So I'll just go and let Cassie out. I'll be like 2 minutes. I'll put my little music on. And then when we come back, how's the poll doing? When we come back, I'll play the footage of me at St. Michael's. And I'm happy then to answer any questions or whatever. But she needs a wee first of all. So please hold. Oh, there we go. Right, I've left the back door open for them, so if they start barking, I'll have to go back and sort them out. What have you got? Where's your ball? Well, she won't let me have it. Found that in the field today. Manky old ball, but she brought it home with her. All right, let's play this footage. I'll play it on mute so that I can talk to you while it's playing. I did just the clip as a YouTube short, but I might as well play the whole thing, I guess. Can I turn the sound down? Yeah. There we go. We'll just keep that playing while we're chatting. Tilly's your gal. Tilly's very funny. Oh, it's not playing. Why is it not playing? Oh, I know why. I'm on the wrong thing. Hold on. Apologies. I'll start it again. Apologies. All right. This is just it's just a combination of footage. I think the whole thing's about 17 minutes, I think, so we can just play this while I'm chatting. And it was 6th of February. It was a lovely day. It's a lovely walk. Like I would, like if I live closer, I live like 25 miles away. If I live closer, I'd go there regularly. It's a lovely walk. Really peaceful. Yours bring home toys, trash, and live critters. One day someone will talk and the cat will be out of the bag. Are we still talking about Nicola? I don't know. Look, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my best. So when will you get to your 100% proof? Right, I'm going to go back up the chat and see what your 100% proof is. Look you up on Google, you're the world's greatest genius. That's not really 100% proof though, is it? I don't think that's 100% proof that you're right in this instance. But I'm going back up the chat. 9:15 when Nicola disappeared. All right. So she jumped in at 9:15, are you saying? That Ron witnessed. He walked past on Sky News at 9:15. So he walks the dog at the same time every day. Well, we know that he was there. Like he said he saw it approximately 9:10. So yeah, we know he was there. So people use half-truths. But what's your 100% proof though? What is it? So when can we get to your 100% proof? Well, when I find where you've written it. He thought Nicola was going for a wee when she handed him her phone and lead and jumped in the river. Okay, so we can play the Sky's news clip if you want. So Nicola and him had a conversation. She said she was going for a wee, or she didn't say that. She just said, here's my phone and here's Willow's lead. And then she just went and jumped in the river. Okay, so why didn't he call the cops? Did he actually see her jump in the river? And where did she jump in? Like, where did she go to jump in? Did she jump in at the bench, or did she go a little bit further downstream and jump in there? So but you'll need to read about 30 posts to get 100% proof. All right, we'll keep going. Keep going up while this is playing. So that's the weir. It's only a very small weir. Compared to the one near me, it's tiny. Our body could easily go over there, like the power of the water. It's very, very powerful there. And the river's moving a lot faster than the Yarrow near me. Water was cold. Ron is old. Well, Ron's an older gentleman, yes, and it was January, so I'm guessing that the river was cold, but that's not proof. So I don't know how many posts back I am now. Not seeing your proof yet. Not seeing your proof. Not seeing it. Oh, okay. Scared to save her in cold water. Well, I personally, if I'd have seen someone jump in a river, I wouldn't have jumped in to save them. I'm not stupid. I'd have called 999 and said, someone has just jumped in the river. I have just witnessed someone jump in the river. Please send help. That's what I would have done. So if that's what Ron did, Ron tell you that personally? Let's change tactic here. Did Ron tell you that personally, or were you there? So if you were there, are you Ron? Are you Ron? Or were you there and have told cops you were there and you were also a witness? I mean, obviously, don't tell us anything that you shouldn't tell us. Anything that cops have told you to keep quiet, don't tell us. But if you're saying you've got 100% proof, then you've got to provide it. What you're providing us is a commentary of what might have happened, but that's not proof of that actually happened. So we're coming up to the bench now. Now that there's a big bone of contention about this gate. I'll just pause it here. One of the things I want to check, because there's a big bone of contention about this, and Cassie can easily get under that fence. But if she couldn't have got under the fence, she'd have just gone over the fence. But that's just my opinion, knowing Cassie. But I want to test that. And I want to leave Cassie behind that gate and walk away and see what she does. That's one of the things I want to do. But I'm not going to do it if there's anyone else around. I'm just gonna go test it and then tell you after the fact. So Pinch or whatever your name is, are you Ron? All right, let's carry on with this. The push is coming up because this is just you know, it's all clips, different clips. You're here for this test. I did it as a YouTube short, but I've played this so many times. Did this as a YouTube short, but you're there for this test, the test I'm going to do. Yeah, I want to see what Cassie does, because to go under the fence at the gate actually takes you into that other field, and then the dog would have to jump the stile. So the dog would have to go around and jump the stile. So the dog would have to think that through. It's an easy thing for a dog to do, but I just want to see. Now, obviously, Cassie's not Willow, but I just want to see. Why did they call the school? They called the school. Well, we'll play what Ron told Sky News in a minute, because this thing's coming up. So I don't know how many feet I'm away from the edge there. I have got it on wide angle. Oh no, I've not, because it's on vertical view. I actually did this live. This was live, but it didn't show up. Because whatever. Nobody actually saw it live. But I was streaming it while I was there. I've edited it since. It's coming up now. So I'm just saying, oh, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to go to the lower field and the upper field. So I don't know how many feet I'm away from the edge. I'm a reasonable distance away from the edge. I'd say probably, I don't know. I was probably 3 feet at when like the closest, and I'd moved a little bit up. So maybe 6 feet. I'm not sure. Here we come. Boom. So I took a few steps back there. And I honestly, if I'd have been close to that edge, I would have gone in at that point. And she's not a heavy dog. She's only a, you know, she just literally jumped up and knocked me backwards. Your pugs would be on the bench observing. Yeah, just sit down, have a chill out. Yeah. I think probably Tilly would do that. I'm not sure about Cassie though. Tilly would be like, oh, she's gone. Great. I can go and bark at some people. I don't know. I want to see. So if there's anything else you want me to check out while I'm there, then let me know. There's any theory you've got or anything that you want me to go and check out, we can do that. Please restrict your number of emojis. Emily, why? Anyway, right, I'm going to play this Sky clip. So we get rid of that now. Yes, I do want to save it. So we'll play the Sky clip. And then, so the poll at the moment, we've got 424 votes. So if you've not voted in the poll, it's at the top of the chat. So what happened to Nicola Bulley, in your opinion? Foul play someone known is currently on 32%. Foul play stranger, 9%. Accident, which can include all possibilities, 52%. And suicide, 6%. Yeah, 6%. So we did a long talk about suicide, and then only 6% of people actually think she did it. Emojis are good for the algorithm. I don't know. I don't know that they are. What's the deal with this? It's because it's like in reverse. I like this colour of yellow as well. I like this yellow. This is a really old jumper. It's got paint all over it. Look at it. I don't care. It's paint. I just like this jumper. It's proper comfy. I could probably get that paint off, to be honest, but I don't care. And Helen, one of my subs members, and I think she's a mod on the channel, she makes hats. She has an Etsy shop, and every now and again she sends me a hat. So I've got a yellow one, a green one, and like a black colour, like a dark grey black colour. Yeah, it's very springtime, isn't it? But I wear this. I've got a real liking for this jumper. I'll be absolutely gutted when it finally, you know, breaks. I've probably had it close to maybe 10 years. Toilet block on caravan site. I'm not sure it's open to the public. I'm not going to go and trespass. That's one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go and trespass. I don't think it's fair to go on anybody's property. They've had enough drama. I'm not going to go and sneak on anybody's property. What's the name of the Etsy shop? I should know this. She has told me before. Is Helen in chat? Hold on. I'll look to see if I can find it on Facebook. I haven't seen Helen in chat today, but I might be able to find it. If she's got it on her Facebook. She's got pictures of her hats, but I don't know that she's got the name of her Etsy shop on here. About No, she doesn't seem to have it. If she comes in, we can ask her. Or I might just be being thick and not being able to see it. She's got some cool hats though. No, I can't see it. She does really good artwork as well. I've got some of her artwork. No, I don't know. I'm afraid. She has told me before, and I should remember, but I'm like that. All right, let's find this sky clip. Nicola. I haven't saved it, so I'm just gonna have to find it. Bulley. Sky News. I think I've played it on a video, but I don't know. I got it. Got it. Right. Okay. All right. I'll mute out to avoid the What are you telling me? There's no sound? Huh. All right. Okay. All right. I'll play it again. It's only 2 minutes. All right. Let me know if you can hear it now.
Fine, do come
How
through.
are you?
No, not at all.
Good to see you.
You live here?
Well, it has been like that. So you actually saw the phone, is that right? Yeah. You saw the phone that Friday morning?
Yes.
Yeah, and that was around, was it after 9:30?
I gave a full statement to the police with the exact time because, excuse me, because my wife's telephone call had the time on it. So, but I've given a full statement. To the police.
Was it just on the bench, or?
Pardon?
Was it just on the bench?
The phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the last 3 weeks been?
Each day something new comes out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But,
and in terms of, you know, when you saw phone, lead, and Willow, who you knew who Nicola was.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you knew the Willow. That was it, wasn't it? You knew you knew Willow.
I knew I'd seen both the owners of Willow walking this dog in the past. But whilst I knew them by face, like I know your face, I didn't know the name.
Yeah. But I remember you actually telling me when you saw the phone, the lead, and Willow, you were like, okay, I'm going to keep an eye on it because something doesn't feel right.
I thought somebody had gone to the toilet in the. You know, that would have been my first. I got to about this red brick building here, and I thought this is not right. And then there was a conversation. But my wife was trying to ring me. I was trying to ring her. Penny had rung my wife. To say that she'd fastened the dog up. That was.
And Penny was the lady who actually spotted Willow initially and saw the phone, but didn't know what was going on with the phone.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. And then after that, you know. What happened?
Well,
what were the next steps?
Then it was just a progression of things happening. You know, we found out because of the wallpaper on the phone. we found out who the couple were. Then the school was contacted and Paul arrived.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll let you carry on with your walk. I know you do this every morning.
Yes.
Nicola did this almost every morning as well.
Probably,
Yeah, we're retracing those steps this time 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So an important
I know.
juncture. Thank you very much. Take care.
Take care.
All the
Thank
best.
you.
And there you go. That's it. There you go. So he thought someone had gone for a wee. So he got to the red brick building. All right, we'll go to the red brick building. We'll do it. Just get my footage back up. All right. All right. So we'll play it from there. That's Rowan Water. That's the back of the upper field. All right, so just a wide open space. So you could be stood right at the bottom of the upper field and be able to see right the way down. I mean, obviously the hedgerow would create an obstacle if you were at a certain place, but he said he was coming up to the red brick building, which is this. By the time you get to the red brick building, you're very close to the bench. So if he saw somebody, or he didn't, he saw Nicola at 9:10 in the upper field, and then she walked off, and he would have good sighting of her, you know, going back the opposite way. If he obviously probably, you know, not thinking anything of it, wasn't paying attention, but you know, he would have, if anything untoward had happened, if there was like screaming or an abduction or something like that, I don't think he would have had any problems, you know, hearing that. Was she at a work meeting? Yeah, she was on a Teams call, a Microsoft Teams call on her phone. So yeah, she was. So yeah, she was. So he got up to the red brick building. I don't know what I'm chatting about there. Oh, I've gone past it. All right, I'll have to get my other footage. Please hold, because that's just edited. That. Hold on a minute. Is this the one? No, that's the weir. So I took a lot of footage while I was there. All right. Hold on. So a lot of this is me looking. Like, a lot of it I edited out because it's really shaky, because I was searching as well as, like, I just wasn't there like to take footage for YouTube. I was actually doing some searching while I was there as well, so the camera's very shaky because I had the camera on, so I edited a lot of it out for that reason. People complain about shaky cameras, and a lot of it, the camera's just pointing down at the floor because I was like searching in the undergrowth and stuff. That's why I was absolutely confident she was not in that upper field. I sent Cassie all over that field. Right, Cassie likes, I'm going to tell you, Cassie likes the smell of death. I'm going to tell you. Right, if there was anything untoward, anything, she'd have found it. She would have found it. I know that nothing bad happened in that upper field. And then her body moved later. I know. But all right. So I wanted to retrace Nicola's steps. Shut up, Michelle. So that hedgerow there is the separator between this upper field and then the lower field, which is where the red brick building is. And the bench is like on that upper field, I guess, just on the opposite side of this flood defense. This path is high because it's a flood defense, because this river gets really high. So it's got flood defenses. You know, you don't build flood defenses in an area where your river's not deep. Just saying. All right, so this is a red brick building that absolute drongos broke into. I mean, come on. I don't know what I'm chatting about. Let's listen. Why will it not let me put my... Oh, there we go. Okay. Wait. Cass. Shouldn't want to go back on. Cass, this way. Leaving you. She didn't want to go back on. She was loving it so much. Cass. Hey. I know you don't want to go back on, but you are. Because people. She wouldn't have bothered the people. I didn't want to jump in the river, quite honestly, because the bank's a bit lower there. Very wet inside. It's that bench area. That bank is so steep because when the river goes around a corner, it's wearing away the bank all the time. Cass. And because the river does get really high, it's worn the banks off. So the natural river, the riverbank is there, but this embankment is artificial. Shut up, Michelle. This embankment is artificial because it's a flood defense. So you've got the embankment that goes down, and then you've got the natural bank of the river. So if Ron was at the building that we've just passed, you can easily see the bench. So if he's there and he spots a dog and a lead on the floor, and then he gets a bit closer and sees a phone, well, to me, it's not unreasonable to think, oh yeah, they've just gone for a wee, or you know, they've just gone to get something, they've dropped something and gone back to get it. That's not an unreasonable thought at all. But what Pinto was saying, and I don't think he or she is still in the chat. It might be, because you are. Ron changed his time to 9:30 on Sky News. No, he didn't. No, he didn't change his time to 9:30 on Sky News. When did he say it was 9:30? Right. He saw Nicola on the upper field at 9:10. Right, let's go there. Let's go to the upper field. Right. This is the upper field. So this is another thing I want to go to St. Michael's and check is the timings, because people have said so much about the timeline. So much. These are not helping whatsoever. Just giving me a headache. So much about the timeline. I'm going to go and time it. All right. So this is the upper field. You can see there. That's where the building is. And then the bench is just a little bit further back from that. Right, so you've got a good visibility. Good visibility. All the way back up the field. All right. So he saw her about 9:10. He said 9:33. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So he saw Nicola at 9:10 on the upper field. He recognised Willow, and he knew that a couple walked her. Right. Then he was coming back. Right. And by the time he got back, so I don't know, maybe he walked around the entire field. He got back and saw. So he saw her at the upper field here at 9:10 or thereabouts. Maybe it was 9:15, who knows. Then he was walking back and saw the dog that he'd seen previously that he knows belongs to a couple at the bench, the lead in the harness and the fawn, and thought the dog's owner had gone far away. How is this difficult to understand? He didn't change a time. He just gave the progression of what happened. That's all. Ron does say 9:33. I agree. All right, we'll listen again. Listen again. Hold on, just let me turn that off. We'll pause that. So he said he gave the time to the police. That's what he said. He gave the time to the police because his wife's phone had the time on because he rang his wife. So the statement he gave to the police that the police have told us was he saw Nicola at 9:10 or thereabouts on the upper field. So he then walked back and saw the dog, the fawn, and the lead and harness, and rang his wife. And then there was this conversation between Penny and Ron's wife. Meanwhile, Penny had come along. So this must have been Ron was still further up here. Penny had come along and seen Willow and seen the fawn. So they were there around the same time, but just in different areas. I don't see how this is difficult to understand. I really don't. I really don't. Because you've also got to remember, I did a video about a hindsight bias that like people didn't watch. People didn't watch it. I'll show you it. I'm going to play the video, but please go and watch it. Because this is what happens in cases where... So Nicola Bulley, the psychology of being wise in the benefit of hindsight. It's about the hindsight bias. It's about psychology. So 7K views. When these nonsense channels get like 50K views, and you just really wise in the benefit of hindsight. So these people were not thinking that something untoward was going to happen on that day. So it's not like you can remember every single thing because you don't know it's going to happen. And it's only when you look back that you know, you've got to try and retrace your steps. There's nothing untoward about that. I don't get why this is massively suspicious. I really don't. But anyway, right, so he's not said 9:33 as of yet. He said he gave his full statement to the police, and the police then told us what had been what their timeline was. They incorporated that into their timeline. Let's carry on. Dog has tag, why all the fuss? Well, on a dog tag, all you put is the phone number. Who? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, because some people are saying that it's muted. No sound. Weird. Please hold. You can hear me now. Good. All right. Sky was muted. Weird. That's very weird. We'll play it again. Right, we'll play it again then. Why was Sky muted? All right, we'll do it this way. Oh, StreamYard is so annoying. So annoying. Right, we'll play it again. This is what he said.
No, not at all.
Good to
Can
see
you
you.
hear it now? Can you
Well,
hear it?
it has been like that.
Yeah.
So you actually saw the phone, is that right? Yeah. You saw the phone that Friday morning?
Yes.
Yeah, and that was around, was it after 9:30?
I gave a full statement to the police with the exact time because, excuse me, because my wife's telephone call had the time on it. So
yeah.
Right. So he said he gave his full statement to the police, and his wife's phone had the exact time on it. The lead has been found. The lead was with the harness. The lead was on the harness, attached to the harness. Why would they take the lead off and leave the harness? No. The lead and the harness were one unit. And relating to a dog tag, all you'd put on a dog tag is the phone number. So maybe they used Willow's dog tag to ring, I don't know. No, he says 9:33. It doesn't say 9:33. Right, guys, who else heard Ron say 9:33? What I heard was, yes, the lead was with the harness. No, dog was not in her. I know, the harness was on the floor. The harness was on the ground. The lead was attached to the harness. Why would they need to get a string to tie the dog up? I have no idea why they use string. Maybe they couldn't work out how to take the lead and the harness. I don't know. People are strange. I don't think it's strange. I think people are strange. So don't work out how to put the harness on and then tie the lead to the bench. Like what I would have done is put the harness back on the dog, taken the lead off the harness, loop the lead around the leg of the bench, and then put the lead back on the harness. But you know, you have to be familiar with how to tie a dog up using a lead. Maybe they didn't think of that. Maybe they didn't think it was secure. That's why they use string. I really don't think that it's suspicious. There was a lead. That it was all one unit. It was all one unit. No, Pincho, whatever your name is. He doesn't say 9:33. Right. He saw, I'm sure you're trolling now. He saw Nicola on the upper field around 9:10. He was then walking back and he got to about the brick building and saw the harness stroke lead and the phone on the bench. He thought the human had gone far away, but then thought it was strange. Yes, harnesses can look very complicated. They can. Penny had no phone, only a landline. Right. So we've not heard 9:33 yet. I'm glad this is just a 2-minute clip because we can carry on. Right.
Give it a full statement.
Yeah.
Was it just on the bench, or?
Pardon?
Was it just on the bench?
The phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the last 3 weeks been?
Each day something new comes out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But,
And in terms of, when you saw phone, lead, and Willow, who you knew who Nicola was.
no, I didn't.
Oh, you knew the Willow. That was it, wasn't it? You knew you knew Willow.
I knew I'd seen both the owners of Willow walking this dog in the past. But whilst I knew them by face, like I know your face, I didn't know the name.
Yeah. But I remember you actually telling me when you saw the phone, the lead, and Willow, you were like, okay, I'm going to keep an eye on it because something doesn't feel right.
I thought somebody had gone to the toilet in the. That would have been my first. I got to about this red brick building here, and I thought this is not right. And then there was a conversation. But my wife was trying to ring me. I was trying to ring her. Penny had rung my wife. To say that she'd fastened the dog up. That was.
And Penny was the lady.
All right. So Penny. So Ron's on his way back. Seeing Nicola at 9:10. Ron's on his way back, gets to about the red brick building and sees the phone, sees the dog, sees the lead and the harness, and thinks this is odd, but someone's just gone for a wee, right? Gets there, thinks it's peculiar, right? So there's a conversation being had between him and his wife, right? Penny and Ron's wife had already had a conversation. Penny had an appointment, so she went, tied Willow up, went to her appointment, and there's this conversation then going on between Ron and his wife. I don't see how this is difficult to understand. I really don't. Ron never seen Nicola at 9:10. So the police are lying, are they? The police are lying. Okay. Yeah, Penny was the first on scene because Ron was further up the field. So Penny and Ron's wife had a conversation on the phone. And then Ron came along and thought, this is unusual, but someone's gone for a wee. And then he's on the phone with his wife. His wife had already had a conversation with Penny. It's not difficult to understand, Susan, is it? Google covering up. Cops covering up got Google changed street name. Anybody can request a change on Google Maps if the street name's wrong. Anyone. You could do it. You could do it. What would you be covering up if you did it? I don't know. Right, so I'm still not hearing 9:33. Let's carry on.
Lady who actually spotted Willow initially and saw the phone, but didn't know what was going on with the phone.
That's right.
Yeah. And then after that, what happened?
Well,
what were the next steps?
It was just a progression of things happening. We found out.
The police. Now, the police didn't name him. But a witness saw Nicola at 9:10, and it was an older man who saw Willow and Nicola on the upper field at 9:10. put up the timeline, it was confusing because they did not use names in the beginning. Well, the police don't use names because they don't want witnesses to be named in the press if they don't want to be named. It's only if they choose to come forward or people find them out that names get put in there. But Ron, unlike what Pinchot said, you know, Pinchot said Ron wanted to remain anonymous. Ron was actually one of the few people who agreed to be interviewed on Sky News. So you'd think if he had anything to hide, he wouldn't be walking his dog at 9:14 in the morning when Sky News are there retracing Nicola's steps. You'd think he'd probably walk his dog in another direction, another place. On the dog tag, the vet's name is on it. 3 letters, but I can't make out. But I see the word vets. All right. I don't know why you'd put your vets for. I guess they might put the, you know, in an emergency call, the vet's number. I guess they could do that. I don't have tags on my dogs because I'm a lawbreaker and they just get lost. I don't know. So I don't have tags on my dogs. But the last time I got a dog tag, I put my mobile number on. But some people don't like putting their number on. So they might have had the vet's number on. Like in an emergency, call this number and it's the vet's number. So what's the problem with that? How about the 2 fishermen guys? We've already talked about them earlier on. They were seen the day before. Ron saw the items first, then walked to the red brick building. All right. So he got to the red brick building and thought it was strange. And then he rang his wife. Okay, it doesn't really matter which direction he was going in. But if he came through the gate and saw the items, or he was coming back and saw the items, doesn't really matter, does it? I last time I bought a dog tag, I put my number on, but I know some people are funny about it and probably think, well, in an emergency, you know, if they find Willow and she's injured, then just ring the vets. I don't know. I wouldn't do that personally, but if that's what people are saying, who knows? Oh, Candice, thank you for the 19.99 and the dancing avocado. My dog is naked unless we're going somewhere. Yeah, so's mine. Cassie doesn't even wear a collar. Tilly does, so that I can grab it when she's being an idiot. Tag was removed deliberately. No, it wasn't. How do we know that? We don't know that because we don't have any footage of Willow on that day, so we don't know that. Would it be better to put the vet number on if she's microchipped? Maybe that's what they thought. Your house number, your postcode and your phone number is on your dog tag. Some people just don't like putting their personal details on. I mean, in the old days, before mobile phones, you did put your address on. I mean, I found a dog once and took it back because its address was on its tag. It was a greyhound. Having great fun. Absolute great fun. I'd have just left him. But then he followed me. And I was like going out onto the road. So I thought, probably better see if I can catch him. And he just came to me and I had a look on his tag and he'd just come from the house down the road. So I just took him back. They didn't even know he'd gone. I think he'd just jumped the fence at the back. They didn't even know he'd gone. Yeah, Alley Cat. Tag was removed deliberately. We've no idea whether a tag was removed. No idea. In your opinion, the tag was removed. Why though? Why would you remove the tag? Why would you bother removing the tag? Why wouldn't you just take the entire collar off? Because it's fiddly. It's fiddly to take a tag off. Just take the collar off. Why wouldn't you just take the collar off? So is the collar removed? 910 was a different witness. All right, okay. So Ron didn't change his time then, Pinto, did he? Pincho. Ron didn't change his time then. So if 910 was a different witness, Ron is just saying that he saw Nicola's things, recognized the dog. All right, that makes perfect sense. So he didn't change his time. And he didn't tell Sky News 9:33, and he didn't change his time. Ron said they called the vet. Vet didn't know Willow. Well, maybe that's how they got the phone number. Maybe that's how they got the phone number. So if they rang the number on the tag, and that was the vet's number, and the vets would have just tapped on their computer and found Willow's details and a mobile number. So then they rang that number, and maybe it just happened to be Paul's number. From 9:15 on Sky News. No, Pinto. We're on Sky News now. No time was given. So you're just bullshitting. You're bullshitting and wasting time. You've not given any proof. You've just been trolling the whole time. Although you've been quite entertaining. It's a bit boring now because he didn't give any time. So he's walking along at 9:14 on the 3-week mark, right? So yeah. All right. Okay. So we'll get rid of that now. Let's go back to my footage just for a minute or two while I answer some questions, if there's any questions, if you've got any questions. When you share your entire screen, it's annoying. You have to do it like this. All right. So this is the upper field. This is where the river's really nice and friendly. Oh, thank you, Holly. The school phone, Paul. All right. So however they got the number, I have no idea. Wonder how many pets are registered with the name Willow. Well, they might not have known the name. If I mean, you know, they might. We don't know without seeing the tag. There might just be a number on. They might not. Some people don't put their dog's name on the tag either. Some people don't put their dog's name on the tag because they think that then somebody with eagle eyes would see the name and then call the dog over and then rob him, which makes sense. It was 9:15 when he was on Sky News. Yeah, it was 9:15 when it was 9:14 when he was on Sky News. So what? That was on the 3-week mark. So what? He just happened to be walking there and they saw him. Whoa. Is the school receptionist related to the caravan people? I've heard that. I don't know whether that's true or not. I haven't done family histories on all of these people. No, I didn't knit the hat. I can't knit to save my life. And not that I want to, but no, I didn't. It's, I think it's crochet. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is knitted. Helen, who's, she's one of the, I think she's a mod, but she's a member of this channel. She has an Etsy shop and she sends me freebies every now and again. And they're lovely. This is like a spring one. And then I've got like a summer one with a brim, and I've got like a thicker one. It's a little bit warm for that one. It's crochet. All right then. I don't know the rules, but here the vet is more strict than the doctor with confidentiality. They don't say if the animal, right? Okay. Honestly, I've never reported a lost dog to a vet. Like whenever I've found a lost dog, I've the greyhound I found and took him home. I found a Rottweiler one night, taking my dog out for a walk. This is years and years and years ago. Found a Rottweiler, beautiful dog, just hanging around outside. And it was late at night. And this was the days before mobile phones. And the dog didn't have a tag, nothing. So I was like, oh, damn, what shall I do? So anyway, I took the dog in. So the dog spent the night with me. Beautiful dog. The dog spent the night with me, perfectly behaved. The following morning, I was thinking, right, what do I do? I thought, I'm not going to call the cops because they'll just take her and put her in one of those dingy kennels. So I'm just going to keep her and see if I can find who she belongs to. Because she was obviously very well looked after, a little bit chubby, to be honest. She'd obviously just escaped. Anyway, so later that day, I went to the shop and there was a sign up in the shop, lost Rottweiler. Please contact this number. So I went home and contacted the number, and it was someone who was about, I don't know, opposite side of the village. So the dog had just wandered a little way. So I took her home, and that was a really tearful reunion because they didn't know what on earth had happened, and she'd been gone all night. So they were very, very grateful. So that was one time. Another time, quite recently, found a dog barking his head off. He was at someone, but when I went up to him, he was fine. So I happened to have a spare lead, so I put him on a lead, and then the person who he was barking at said, I think he lives over there. So we took him, and he lived over there. So that was another one. Another one, when I was little, this is why I would never give a dog back to the police. We had a lost dog, and we took her to the police station. She'd been hanging around for ages. We took her to the police station, and they just put her in a horrible kennel, like in the dungeon. It was like a cell. And then she would have gone to the lost dogs place. So I was a kid then, and it had an impression on me. So I vowed I would never, never, never take a dog and report a dog to the police. I would find the owner myself. And that's what I've always done. Ronnie's not his real name. Why won't he give his real name? I do not blame anybody whatsoever for using a pseudonym on the internet. I think if you are involved in a missing persons case, do not speak to anybody because of all the absolute drongos who will try to wreck your life. Yeah, Willow would have been chipped because it's a legal requirement in the UK. But the dog would have to go to the vets to get, or somebody who's got a scanner. Did the police wrestle the dog to the ground and scream, stop resisting? No, they put her in this horrible cell. Like it was like they took her downstairs and it was just this horrible cell. And there was all these smelly police cars and stuff. It was like in the basement. It was really horrible. Just want to say Ron does not say any time. He doesn't say any time. He says, I've given my statement to the police. The police know the time. Your friend got arrested at her house for her husband's dog running at large. Oh dear. Well, Cassie runs at large. Cassie gets out and runs at large. She only actually runs all around people's gardens trying to find cats. But she doesn't like to come back in. Police have time, 9:33. They do, you're right. Police have time, 9:33. Yes, that's when Willow was... All right, guys. No, I wouldn't use my real name either. I wouldn't be on the internet at all. Like, did you hear about the little boy that went missing in my village? Did you hear about that? No. Why? Because I didn't talk about it. He was found. Phoenix, thank you so much. Gifted 10 memberships. Let's see who has got the memberships. Karen Laughingstock. Oh, big jump there. I want the truth. Way. I want the truth. Got one. Brutally honest Marv. Jean. Magical Mother. Max. Thought you were already a member, Max, but maybe not. Joe Looking Ass. And I think that's it. Thank you so much, Phoenix. So we've had a few new members today. That's good. That's good. Ron must be very friendly with Paul and Nicola, considering he walks his dog most days. I'm not friendly with anybody I regularly see on my walks, though. Like, I see people regularly, and I don't know them. I know their dogs. Like, and I have nicknames for them. So I have 6 Springers, who are actually 2 women who walk 6 Springer Spaniels. I see them at least once a week, but I saw them 3 days running this week. And I went out at different times as well. It's like just chance. There's Caesar Milan, who has 2 Gordon setters, and he's training them, and he has this whistle and he has them doing stuff. There's Border Man, who has a border collie. I just have names for people, like, in my head, and I don't know them at all. I don't know them at all. Never spoken to them. I've said hello. I think I said hello to 6 Springers a couple of times. I've never spoken to Caesar Milan because he's always on, like, the other field. I just see him a lot. Oh, there's a man who walks at 7:30 every morning, Labrador man. He's got 2 Labradors, and he's out at 7:30. I never see him at any other time other than if I go out at 7:30. So he must walk them before he goes to work or something. And Tilly hates those 2 dogs. I don't know why. They've never done anything to her. She just hates them. So there's always a confrontation. Not between me and the guy. Me and the guy just roll our eyes at each other because they're ridiculous. But yeah, so I understand how people do regular walks, see the same people day in, day out. You love my name for the dog walkers. When I used to travel on public transport, and I used to see the same people on the train, I had like about 1 million different names for people that I saw every day. Breakfast Man was the best one. He used to eat his breakfast on the bus every morning. Breakfast Man, I even used to talk about on Twitter. Not on MichelleAfterDark. It was when I had my old account. That I don't even know. I think I deleted it. But I used to talk about all the people that I had on. I met on social, on public transport. So Breakfast Man got almost a daily mention. Like, I used to tell everybody what he was having for breakfast on that day. And there you go. That's that footage over. Yeah. All right. Are we done? I think we're done. I've been on nearly 3 hours. I had no idea I'd been on for that long. I had no idea. Do I come up with backstories for him? No, I don't. But I always wonder why, like people like Breakfast Man, like, he must have had a story. He must have had a story. Because it wasn't even just, like a bar of chocolate or something, or a cereal bar. It was a proper breakfast. Like, he would have like I don't know, like oats or Weetabix, but it would have like nuts in it and fruit in it, and it was like a proper, really planned out breakfast. And it's like, why do you have all this time in the morning to prepare this breakfast and then eat it on the bus? You know, you'd like eat your breakfast on the bus if you ran out of time, but clearly not. This was a very well prepared breakfast. So I had questions about Breakfast Man. Questions about him. I really did. Anyway, I'm going to go because I've been on 3 hours and I had no idea. Just looked at the time. I had no idea I've been on for 3 hours. So, thank you all for being respectful and stuff. I just thought I'd do this as something a little bit different. You know, people accuse me of talking at you, and I'm not. I just have my opinions. I know what I believe. I know the law, which is important. I know the law. I know the purposes of an inquest. I don't know what else to say. So yeah, I'm going to do a members live in the next few days. So if you remember, because we've had some new members today, courtesy of the people who've kindly gifted them. So I'm going to do a members live in the next few days. I don't know what topic yet, but look out for that. And I'll be back. I'll be back with a video tomorrow, and I'll be back with another live very soon. All right. Thank you all. Thank you, mods, as always. Thank you for keeping us all in line. Thank you to people who've donated memberships and super chats. It's very kind. Always appreciated. So I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.